Hey, happy Monday, guys. If you're watching live, happy Sunday. We are back for another episode of Monday Model Mania. And of course, we are going to dish out all the ins, the outs, the do's, the don'ts, and what you should and should not be doing in the modeling world. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It's close to Christmas. I hope you've done your Christmas shopping. Have you done your Christmas shopping?
I don't too much celebrate Christmas.
Okay, all right. Well, then we'll skip over that topic. Christmas is my favorite. I think it's just the Christmas lights, you know?
I still like to see the lights and all the happy family.
Yeah, all the beautiful stuff. All right, so my guest today is none other than Miss Danae. How are you?
Hi.
All right, Danae is a local model here in St. Louis. And of course, today we're going to be talking about professionalism, readiness, prep time, the aspects that it takes to put into your wardrobe and your makeup and all the things that maybe some people don't realize go into being a model. First of all, Danae, how long have you been modeling?
So it's been officially a year and a half.
Okay, all right. So I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say that you're still considered a new model, right?
Yes,
okay,
very much so.
Do you take paid work right now, or are you only doing trade and?
Right now, I'm still only doing trade.
Okay.
If someone was to offer me paid shoots,
of course
I'm going to take them.
All right. All right. So when I talked to Danae, she said, this is what she just said to me. I just took that step and changed my Facebook and changed, made modeling pages and things like that. If you guys have ever heard me talk about taking that next step, that is probably the biggest step that I want you to take is that, you have to separate your personal life and your personal stuff from your business stuff.
Yes.
And as a model, that is kind of hard because you are your brand. So Tell me how have you seen some struggles, and tell me maybe some of the struggles that you've seen trying to separate personal opinions and beliefs and voicing things like that as opposed to the professional side of it.
So I recently, it's very recently, I just started my Facebook modeling page, and it's still very hard because me being me, I can't speak for everyone. I'm a very outgoing person. I do have opinions, and I'm so free on my page. So having to separate business and pleasure is a juggle, but it's very beneficial because anyone can see it. And even with me just separating my pages, a lot of people have started contacting me. It's a bigger eye catch than you posting memes or doing this, and then they see every blue moon your work. So
it makes you look like you are ready to work.
Yes.
Yeah, in my opinion. That is, as a photographer, I will say that that's probably when a model reaches out or I want to work with a model for a concept, that's the first thing I'm going to look at is, are you, and this may sound mean, okay, and I'm sorry if it does, are you playing model? Or are you really serious about this? And what I mean by that is when you are really serious about it, there's a lot more work that goes into this gig than just a pretty face. And I mean, I'm sure that you've grown up with people, you should model, you should model, you should model.
Family, friends, teachers, everybody. And I've always been like, no, I'm not tall enough. I don't have this certain look. But it's not really about a certain look. Nope. It's about your demeanor, what you put out there, what you bring to the table. So it's so much more that plays into it. I
agree with that. So you're talking about your family and them, no, you're good. Talking about them, are they encouraging? Have they been very supportive with this modeling? You've decided to take it to the next
once
professional level?
Actually took that step to become a model, everyone was like, oh my God, I knew it. Like, we said you should be a model. Like, yes. Like,
very good. Okay.
So
how old are you again?
I just turned 21 in October.
Okay. Woo, woo. Happy birthday. All right. Okay. So
definitely the golden age.
So I am big on prepping for a photo shoot. Okay. So talk me through maybe your first shoot that you would have considered your first photo shoot as a model. Tell me how it was. Did the photographer reach out to you? What was the concept?
So we kind of reached out to each other. We both were looking for like the same thing, and we ran across each other's pages. So we direct messaged each other, and we did a TFP shoot, and we basically met up at Kena Plaza and had a shoot. It was a learning experience because we were both missing some things, and we both wanted to do certain things that we weren't qualified for, I would say.
Okay, all right. That's a very honest answer. I love that you just said that maybe that we weren't qualified for. However, now that you kind of know
the concept, and
you're
now
learning it.
We both have that experience. We were like, hey, we should give this another go.
Yeah, for sure.
He was a new photographer, and I was a new model, so it was kind of like a perfect match.
Perfect. Do you want to shout that photographer out? Who was that?
Gustavo. Thank you so much.
All right. I always like giving credit where credit is due.
Yes.
So if you feel like somebody definitely helped you in your career, then don't forget about them. Now, one thing I think that photographers, I'm dogging the photographers today, guys. But one thing that I've noticed, especially in the St. Louis area, is that photographers get kind of territorial. Do you feel like when you've shot with some photographers that they have kind of wanted to keep you for themselves and not let other people have an opportunity to shoot with you?
So far, I haven't met anyone personally like that, but I have seen it a lot, and let's just say it's weird.
It is weird,
because these are human beings, and these aren't your property. They aren't your property at all. So
I feel like that happens a lot, and you know, for me, I always say, you know, we of course have in-house models here at the studio, and girls and guys that work with us and do different work on projects with us, and I always say, I love you, but I hope that you're not here forever, right? My goal is to get you to a point where
for you
you can wave goodbye to me and shake my hand and tell me thank you and take that next step. And that's my goal in everything that we do with models here. So, all right, we are going to take a quick break. I want you guys to check out, of course, all of our great sponsors, and be sure to tune in to all the other amazing shows right here on Artists United Network at Soulful Illusion Studios. We'll be right back.
Has tied it 7-7. Unbelievable.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Monday Model Mania. Happy Monday. Of course, if you're joining us live, happy Sunday. We are back with our guest, Danae, and we are having a great conversation. Now, just a little recap. Danae is a semi-new model, all right? She's been modeling for about a year and a half, right, you said? And I personally know that the last year and a half of everybody's lives has been crazy because of the pandemic and just the strains and the restrictions put on everyone. So I want to talk to you a little bit about becoming that professional during the pandemic. So let's talk about that. Did you, because I'm a year and a half ago, I'm thinking you're dab smack in the middle of pandemic.
So
were you during lockdown, or when did you really?
All of my shoots took place kind of in between the pandemic. I started modeling in 2019.
Okay.
but I took a break. I took a hiatus from the photos
Yep.
and everything. But yes, the pandemic made it so much harder to get people together.
Yes.
But since I just started doing group shoots, it was easier because it was always like 2 or 3 people, just me, my person I bring, and then the photographer. So
Very good.
It was always safe.
You're right. Good. I know group shoots are a big thing here in St. Louis.
Yes.
That seems to be a big thing. Now, we don't necessarily do group shoots here at the studio, but one thing that we do, and models, of course, if you ever want to tune in and come to this, we do something called Friday, and our next one is going to be January the 7th from 6 to 8 p.m. It costs $20, right? And you're talking several photographers, several models of all different levels of experience and expertise.
Yes.
And if you need pictures done, that's $20 and it's super easy. We just ask the photographers to give all the models, 3 photos at least
Yes.
back. I would say that 99% of them give you way more than that, though. So talk to me about group shoots. Is that kind of how you have been meeting photographers and networking and things like that?
Yes, actually. So my first group shoot, it was more photographers than models. It was me and one other girl, Megan.
Okay. Shout out Megan.
So I was reached out from this photographer, Kate Collins. Carlton, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And it was 3 other photographers with her. It was me and Megan, and we did a group shoot.
Cool.
It was different genre of shoot, but all different styles of photographers.
Good. So different levels of experience.
Yes. So I got different types of photos, different like angles, different edits. It was
Yes.
amazing,
Yeah.
and they really boosted my confidence
Oh, good.
in a way
Okay.
as well.
Good. And that's, the group shoots it's always interesting to see the photos come back and see the
Yes.
difference in maybe how somebody saw a scene or saw an image of you. And I love looking at the images that come back. I'm not a big fan of group shoots myself, only because I am a super creative brain.
Yeah,
and so
everybody has their.
Yeah. And so I want control of just
What
kind of
your
the whole set
vision,
and the,
yeah.
and I feel like with group shoots, it's very rushed and things like that. So it's just a personal preference. It's not like anything against, I know that several models, that's how they build their portfolio, is a lot of those group shoots. And I think they're, it's a good avenue to start from. So let's look at a couple of your photos here. Okay. If you want to cut to the camera here, Matt. All right. So this is, are you a piercer too?
Yes, so I do a lot of things. So I bake, I cook, I pierce. So everything's different.
Well, I might have to hit her up for some cookies for our holiday party, huh? Okay, so talk to me about this photo. Where was it taken? Who was the photographer?
So
I love this
Kay
photo.
Marie.
Okay, all right, we know
of
Kay Marie. Kay Marie is
Shutterland's studio.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is right before she got the whole place set up. She wanted to do a test shoot for lighting.
Yeah.
And she chose me, and I am very grateful.
Yes, she is a great.
Because I've never had photos like this. So this
Yes.
was like my first style of photos like this. So
Okay, of
I
fashion,
love them.
like a
Yes.
fashion?
I've never had a fashion shoot.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, all right, before we get too much further. This is something I ask all models, and I'm going to give you a challenge that we can come back in a year, and I'm going to ask you this same question. When photographers reach out to you, what would you say is the number one type of shoot that you're being asked to do? Like, is it
I think it really depends.
is it fashion? Is it boudoir? Is it
on
lingerie? Is it nude?
the
Is it-
person. So majority of the time I get creative photographers. So they are always open to my ideas and
Good.
what my image and how I want
love
to see
hearing
myself.
that, photographers. I love hearing that.
So that's my biggest draw to them as well. People who want to hear my ideas.
Yes.
So yeah, I mainly get creative, like off the wall shoots.
Okay, all right,
nothing
all right.
straightforward.
Okay, good. So the reason I ask, I know that especially you're very young,
Yeah.
you're very gorgeous, and some people might even say that as a new model that sometimes, you might be a little naive to the world of photography and things that happen.
That is true.
Yes.
Because just starting out, you really see the amount of photographers and also fake photographers because
we call them
are,
GWCs. They're called guys with cameras.
Yes.
Or girls with cameras or girls with cameras.
It could be either or. Trust me.
We're not being sexist here.
Yes, they very much will hit you up, and these are the ones that will make you think, hey, I have money for you in exchange for these shoots. Come do it. But you can always find out the phony photographers when they ask you to come alone. Be aware of that.
Good answer.
So whenever a photographer, I always bring someone. I never go anywhere alone. So
Rule number 1.
Even today, I brought my best friend. So
Rule number one.
If I ever say I'm bringing someone and they act a certain way to that response, meaning they don't like you or they ask me to not bring someone, instantly shut down. I don't want to work with you.
Nope.
Why can't I bring someone?
Exactly.
What's the plan?
What are you planning on doing that someone else can't see?
So
yes, I agree.
with that's a big red flag.
Yes.
Big no. Girls, be safe.
Yes. That's my number one rule.
Photographers too, be safe because models as well.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. I know some photographers who like have studios, and I for instance have a model that models in-house with me currently.
Yes.
And she was here the night that she was messaging with this photographer, and I just so happened to be here, and she was going to be taking an escort with her, and it was another guy who takes pictures, but he's not like a professional photographer. He doesn't, whatever. And the photographer that she was going to shoot with was like, no, you can't bring him, And I looked at her and I said, you go by yourself, and I am gonna be so mad at you. She didn't. She canceled with him. And this photographer's amazing. I mean, she was super excited, ready to get pictures. She knew what quality of photos, but unfortunately, you just have to make sure that safety comes first above everything. Yes. So with that being said, leading into what I'm going to challenge you to do, okay? Every model that I come in contact with that I feel like I'm going to see you more, right, and have this relationship with you, I ask you to keep a journal, okay? And this journal is going to be very simple. It's going to be a date and very simple information.
This sounds easy. I have a journal.
It's so easy. Every time a photographer reaches out to you, I want you don't have to write their name down. I don't care about that. But I do want to know what type of shoot they want you to do, and are they offering to pay you, or they want you to do TFP. Okay, and the reason I ask that is because I have found a lot of photographers are reaching out, especially in the St. Louis area. No offense, men, I love you, but they just want to shoot boudoir or lingerie or implied nude. And this stuff with K. Marie is very few and far between, I feel like, in the modeling world in St. Louis. Now, you look at New York, you look at LA, it's all fashion.
Yeah.
And that is really what is going to get you paid, is the fashion part of it. So digging into that, let's talk a little bit about prep and wardrobe, okay?
Yes.
Because I think that models constantly should be rotating their closets and constantly buying new things, and that sounds expensive, right?
It is expensive.
Okay, so what's your go-to when you buy clothes? Where's somewhere that you go to get everything?
So in all honesty, I am a big thrifter, and
I
upcycle a lot of my clothes, even in everyday life. So with that, applying that skill to my modeling world helped me a lot because I can sew.
Yes, girl, I would say
and everything.
100%.
So if I have something old that in my closet that I don't wear for real, and it's probably like what I'm looking for, but then I have one other thing in my closet that I can just put it together with it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That is
Let's do
amazing.
it.
So I kind of hear maybe a little bit of interest in the fashion and like design, fashion and stylists and stuff like that. Is that something that you are intrigued by too?
Yeah, it is. And I think that's why me and my fiance got together, because she made this hoodie. So she designed clothes and everything. So that's kind of how we got together. She's a photographer as well, an upcoming photographer, and she'll make clothes and everything, and I'll wear them.
I'm interested in having your fiance on as a guest, because I love talking about the fashion and the clothing side of modeling, because I think it's very, very important. I personally, if you have shot with someone in this pretty beautiful red dress that
Yes.
you're wearing, I unfortunately don't want to shoot you in it because you've already got pictures in it, and you shouldn't want to shoot in that again and again. I feel like that's just you're just getting the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Instead of getting
looks
useful out
start
of
to
it.
look the same.
Yeah.
Um,
So now let's talk about makeup. Do you do
Yes.
your own makeup, or do you always have to?
So,
do you have to hire makeup
I
artists?
do. So I do my own makeup. I
Okay.
don't wear a lot of makeup.
Okay.
Even when I do wear makeup, like today, I have on makeup. I do something light and natural.
Yeah, no, super, and it's gorgeous.
I'm not
Like,
big
you have
on
great
makeup,
skin.
but
Like, your
if
skin is
there's a
perfect.
shoot that requires like a big extravagant look, I would have someone do my makeup.
Okay,
you know?
okay, yeah. No, and I mean, I say if you can't do your own makeup, that's perfectly fine. I would say as a model, learning makeup things is
YouTube
very
is your
beneficial.
best friend.
Yes,
I learned
yes.
everything from YouTube.
Yeah. With that being said, of course, we are going to do a model boot camp right here at the studio. It's going to be January the 9th. This is going to be literally boot camp, okay, girls and guys. 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We are going to put you
12
through
straight hours.
every aspect of modeling. We're going to have fashion designers in-house. We're going to have makeup artists. We are going to have stylists, runway coaches, modeling coaches, nutritionists, fitness instructors. We're going to have all of that in-house, and we're going to just cycle you through all of those things. We're going to provide lunch and dinner and, of course, snacks and water throughout the whole day.
So
it's just $100.
Even
so
for
get in.
experienced models, this is still for you too. Because
Yes.
no matter how much you know,
Thank you.
it's always good to refresh.
Yes.
Because I still come to things like this. Even when someone's like, hey, come learn new poses, I'm there. Even if it's the same thing I've learned,
Yes.
it does not hurt to refresh your memory.
Well, and, for me, I think it's I can see somebody. I gain creativity by having creative people around me.
Yes.
And so I think being able to bounce creative ideas, or you may see a model do a pose and you're like, that's cool. I'm going to do a spin that and do my own version or
Yes.
whatever. You may even like take that pose into another photo shoot that
One of
you
my
would have never
favorite
done.
models is Dixie Richard.
Okay,
and
okay.
You
We
guys
like
have probably heard of her.
Dixie.
She is the most extravagant, amazing model I know. She does all these different
Yes, I was about to
moves,
say, I have
and
never, ever seen
it
somebody
just
pose like her.
flows.
Yes.
We did a Matrix cosplay shoot recently with
Yeah.
Press. She's amazing. She's a more of naturalist shooter, so she does all natural lighting.
Okay.
So we did a cosplay shoot, and Dixie just flowed.
I love her.
Everything about her movement just
she
came
shot with
to life. Oh my
with our
God.
in-house photographer and studio
Yes.
education teacher here, AG Shaw, and I'm telling you, those pictures were amazing. Even just I look for uniqueness, right? So when I look at a model or I see, someone I want to do a concept with, I'm always looking at what is different about you than the girl standing next to you that also wants this opportunity. And Dixie just has this unique, amazing look, and she does it well.
And she just hits every note every time.
Okay.
Never
So would
fails.
you say that she's someone maybe that inspires you?
Yes,
and
I
you-
can say she is one of my biggest inspirations.
Shout
Especially
out
for her to
Dixie.
still be as new as I am and just in the game
Yes.
with a few years above me. Like,
Yes.
she's amazing. Her full-blown aspect of the gift is amazing. We both do it for fun.
Yeah.
It's like a hobby for us.
Yeah.
It's not like something that
you're doing as a full-time job.
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
but
for
it's
sure.
something that if you just look at her, you'll think
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
instantly.
for sure. Yeah, 100%. And she is very good at making lines with her body. And I don't know if you know what I mean by that.
She's
but like
so
she just
abstract.
stretch it. Yes, incredibly abstract, but it works for her.
Yes.
Like some of the poses, I'm like, well, that's weird, but man, that looks really
She did
cool.
this move, and I'm like, how? I was just like, how? During the shoot, her hands were just like, I can't even do it.
That's great. Well, shout out Dixie. We definitely love her. All right, we're going to take another short break. Be sure, of course, to check out our sponsors and all the other great shows right here on Artists United Network at Soulful Illusion Studios. We'll be right back, guys. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Monday Model Mania. Happy Monday. Of course, if you're joining us live, happy Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. We, of course, are back with our guest, Danae.
Hi.
Have you enjoyed the show so far?
I definitely have. This has been a
enjoyed
great
talking to you.
experience.
Yeah, I always love picking into models' brains, and just I think that all creative people work differently and have different prep that they do as far as photo shoots and their work in general. So I want to talk to you a little bit about prepping for a photo shoot. So let's say I just reached out to you. We have talked about shooting, but now we're trying to come up with a creative aspect or what we're going to shoot. Tell me just kind of your creative process. How do you work through that? How do you decide outfits?
So I try to go for things I've never done and that other photographers have never done, but also have done, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Kind of something they're experienced in,
Mm-hmm.
but they haven't done the concept.
Makes sense. Okay,
So,
I understand what you're saying.
and then from there, I go into the outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to make this outfit look good? What am I comfortable in? What can I put a spin on, make it original, but also make it me?
Okay.
So that's how I go about
Do
that.
you, of course, some photographers don't have a studio, just readily accessible to them. So do you choose your outfits based on the location, or do you choose the location based on your outfits? Or a little bit of both?
Going into digging for what I want to shoot, that goes in also to the location. So if I figure out what I want to shoot, I'll figure out the best location, and then I guess that kind of also plays into the outfit.
Okay, all right. So I was talking to someone about concept the other day, and they were like, "Oh, location is fine. We'll pick the outfits. We'll just pick the outfit." I was like, "Wait, hang on, stop. I want to go. I'm a very detail oriented person.
I'm very OCD about details.
Yes.
Even if I feel like one thing's off, I'm going to get confused. So I have to know everything: time, date, exactly where we're meeting. I need to know all those things in order to be prepared.
Yes. I agree. My husband says I'm a little OCD when it comes to my photo shoots because I have a book. It's my creative ideas book. And I, of course, like to read through and I encourage models and photographers, especially models, to read and get the print. Nothing like laying down with a printed magazine, Vogue and Essence and Bazaar and things that you're going to get the fashion aspect of, because you get so many great ideas. And I literally will sit with my creative ideas book and just flip through a magazine, and it may be a perfume ad, and I get this spark of creativity from seeing those types of ads. So that's kind of for me. I just keep this book always have this book of ideas, and
so I definitely get that. I can definitely take something like if I see like a wedding, or it could be the colors of the wedding or the theme of the wedding. I can take that and be like, this theme in a photo shoot would be awesome, and that's what I would definitely go for. That's how you really brainstorm, especially being a writer. I love that plays into it because my imagination is so big.
So you write too?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so she does it all.
I try to
she's
keep
a baker.
my eggs in more than one basket. I have a lot of
smart.
hobbies. I'm a Libra, so I'm very indecisive about all aspects in life. So
that's
having
good, though.
some organization keeps me
focused.
My head straight.
Yes. However, I think as a model, and we chatted a little bit about this earlier, that if you are, and some models are just models, but I can guarantee you if you dig into professional models, and I'm talking like Cindy Crawford, Tyra Banks, those types of models, right? Those ladies are doing more than just modeling.
Yes.
They are either doing runway, they're doing their own line of makeup or hair products,
TV shows, hosting.
So all of it plays into that. And then as you gain more notoriety, you will start to, obviously, like today. I mean, you're sitting at a podcast or we're doing filming. It's something different that you would not normally do as a model.
Something out of the box.
Exactly. Out of the ordinary, out of the box. So yeah, my creative books, idea book, I go as far as like the details of, let's say, what color do I want your eyelash or your eyeshadow to be? And I go down to the very, very nitty gritty, because for me, and I would hope for my model that's doing the photo shoot as well. That's your time. That's your money. That's your career. That's your name. That's everything that you're doing. You're stamping a seal of approval on it. So
Exactly.
I want it to be perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Some models get annoyed with that. Like, can I just decide when I get there? No, you cannot do that. So, but I promise
come prepared.
and I promise that if you work with me, that you're going to get some great photos. Okay. So with that being said, one thing that we like to do on the show that is kind of fun is we like to dig into your model bag.
Yes.
So we're going to have you put your model bag up here. And of course, you guys have heard my top 10. If you haven't, go back and watch episodes 1 and 2. My top 10 things that you should have in your modeling bag. So let's see if Danae has any of those things in her bag.
So I carry my Puma bag around sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Depending on the shoot, because if I have a shoot where I have to switch outfits, definitely going in the big bag.
Okay, perfect.
But I love to keep an extra change of shoes.
Ooh, that's
For
a good
that,
one.
because I'm either probably wearing heels, my docs, who knows, maybe just some uncomfortable shoes.
Well, and I know
but I love
that,
my slides.
I know that, like, for here instance, we have, I mean, in our film stage, we can pull cars in there. And so the floor, it's not dirty, but it's not, you don't want to walk around barefoot on it. So if you're doing a barefoot shoot, you want to have shoes to slide on. So that's very smart. Good.
I keep a brush.
Yes. Hair accessories.
Flyaways, all that. Just keep your hair neat, keep it tidy.
Yes.
I don't want to look weird in my shoes. I keep a bottle of water.
Oh, that's a good one.
That because you got to stay hydrated. And then normally, if I'm in a studio, it gets pretty hot,
stuffy, and you're moving around,
especially when you have definitely moving around, different textures, different everything. So definitely got to keep your bottle of water.
Agree. I keep water here at the studio.
Also bring snacks because I am always hungry.
Yes.
Even if it's just for a quick second, just eat a few chips.
Little thing of Cheez-Its, or
yes, definitely keep snacks. I didn't bring anything. It's okay. I keep some makeup products only if I'm going to do a makeup shoot or if I'm not trying to do nothing serious. Like today, I brought some natural makeup.
Touch-up stuff, Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Also keep perfume, even though you're not going to smell me through my photos, but I like to smell good.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And
hygiene is a thing, guys.
Lotion for dry skin, ashy skin, all that.
Yes. Lotion is definitely on my list of 10 things.
Bring my satin bonnet, my silk bonnet for before and after I leave. Just keep my hair down and so it doesn't look weird before I get to the shoot because something always happens.
Yes. No, I agree. Or the wind catches it or something crazy happens.
And then I keep my lip balm and some clothespins because
that's on the list.
Some outfits get too big. They fall down. Especially with me, it's so hard to find my size because I'm so
small.
thin and I'm still kind of treading in the kids section.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. There's some cute
but
stuff in the kids section.
I definitely have to keep clothespins to keep it together.
Yes.
And nobody likes dry lips.
That's true.
So
okay, all right. So that's like you're always, no matter what, you have all of these things with you. And then, of course, as you know what you're shooting, you pack a bag.
I change and
Perfect. Okay. Well, that's a good model bag. Of course, there are a couple things that are on my list that she doesn't have in her bag, which is why I always like to dig in. But I'm gonna give her that list so that she can see my top 10 list. Now, my top 10 list is just a list of what I personally feel like you should have in your bag at all times. So, I mean, you keep it or you keep it. If you don't, you don't. It's okay. No big deal. All right, Danae. So let's tell everybody where they can find you at so that if they want to work with you or follow you, they can do that. So Instagram.
So you guys can definitely follow me at DEE_styles with 2 Z's at the end of styles. And if you're going to follow me on Facebook, it's going to be Danny Unique. Danny with an I,
and unique. Perfect. All right. So if you want to work with Danae, feel free to hit her up. I am not, she is, you are taking TFP shoots
Yes.
right now. Okay. So photographers, if you have a concept that you want to shoot, please hit her up and work with her. Super sweet girl. Seems like she is very, very prepared and ready to put in the work if you are ready to put in the time with her.
Yes.
So contact her and get her in front of your camera. And as always, thank you for joining us for another episode of Monday Model Mania. Be sure to check out all of the other great shows right here on Artists United Network at Soulful Illusion Studios. We're out. Peace and love, guys.